got the cap off the back. And here it is, what it looks like. We're gonna clean that off. Here is your seal. You can see it had some stuff on it, been leaking. We got new ones from Precision. I'll put this one in the trash real quick. Here they are, should be the same. 710861. I've already looked at it and that is the correct one. We did get our wires in, so there you go. But we're going to clean off the back of that, and then we're going to put this in. I'll slide this in down on that first. Make sure you put the open end against the engine, and then once we do that, torque this down. And this thing had a lot more torque than coming off than what it says it does, I think. As it says, it should only be 12 foot-pounds according to per demand, but it felt a whole lot more than that on there. I guess maybe just it done got down in there and all that stuff. So once you take the cap off, this just pretty much falls out. So we're gonna clean that off, and I did get those spark plug wires now. Here they are. We got the ones with the boots for the coils. And I've already put some dielectric grease inside. This is just the one that I'm using. You don't have to use this brand, but it's just what I got. It's just CRC. I don't know if it's got a part number on this. I'll find a link to this and a little bit cheaper one too. That's what y'all want to do, but any dielectric grease will work. And I already put a little bit inside each one, not much, and I just spread it around. That let me clean all this off, and then we'll start putting the gaskets on, and we'll put a little bit of RTV where the cam caps go on the back and on the front, and then that way it just makes sure that it seals and nothing can get through there. Most of the time you have to use like a little hammer, screwdriver, punch, something to knock these out, but I just push these out with my fingers, and it shouldn't be that way. It should be in there tight. And that could be one reason that our plugs looked so bad and that the oil was everywhere, because it wasn't sealing right. It may not have been in there good enough, but we're going to clean this out just because I want to make sure there's no dirt and debris. You can kind of see where I set it down. It's got some in there. We'll spray it out with some brake cleaner, let it dry. Then we'll put the gasket in there, and I'll probably put a little bit of silicone inside of it just to hold it in place for me. Sometimes these aren't deep enough and it can actually push the gasket back out. But I did put a little bit of silicone where the cam caps are going to be, and then where those cam seals on the front and back are going to be as well. I think they're right here and right there. And that way just creates a good seal and doesn't allow it to leak out of those spots, because those are potential leak spots. So let me put that in, get this cleaned up, then I'll show you how I'll put the gaskets and seals in there. Normally you have to get something and tap these in just by how tight they are, but these I can actually push in with my fingers. I shouldn't really be able to do that, but they're a little snug and they're pushing down on there, so that should be good. I am going to put a little bit of, like I said, silicone, a couple spots just to keep the gasket down. I'm not putting much, just a little dot on some of the little corners and stuff to where it bends a lot. Mainly putting it on the corners just to hold it down. That's where it tends to pop up the most. And we do have a Felpro set, number right there, 50422R. Get these out. If you remember correctly, these seals are just like mirror images of each other. so it should go on just fine. Should be right here. I'll let this sit for a second, then I'm gonna sit it in there and go ahead and start putting it on. And then I'll come back and tell you all the torque specs once I get everything on. And let me show y'all the areas I put like RTV on. See, I put it across the whole top of that cap, right in the corners of where the cams are. You can see a little bit better. Right there, there, and there. And for as many miles as this engine has, it is a pretty clean engine. Just these plastic pieces are breaking apart. You just have to watch out for that because it does get brittle in here due to all the heat and the amount of miles and the age of this thing. There's a piece right there I got to get out, which I can get it out in just a second. But this car has 352,000 miles on it, I believe. So, inside looks pretty clean for having that many miles. Valve cover is on, and the torque spec for these are 53 inch-pounds. I went to 60 just due to the extensions and everything, and we got them all torqued down. Now all we got to do is put in the spark plugs, and here is, clean off the tip of that, but these are spark plugs. I know I showed them to you already, but we're going to go ahead and throw these in. Do not put anything on the threads. I've said it before. I've looked up the specs on NGKs. They say do not put anything on the threads. Don't know if it's just their design or what, but I don't put any kind of anti-seize or anything on there. But I'm going to throw these in right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and start pulling these wires one at a time, just so I make sure I get the wires on correctly, and we'll put the new wires on. Got the plugs wires on, got them snapped into the front cover, and went ahead and took off the old ones. I always forget that these right here are lengthened to the correct coil, so you should be good on that to take them off. I just tend to forget about that, but we do have to pull these coils off. I'm trying to do it easy so I don't break the connectors. May have to get a pick to get those, because I do not want to break them. I hate Toyota coil connectors because they break all the time. And even make repair kits just for them. And for the most part, yeah, I figured all those were broken. Yeah, pretty much these wires, you can pull them up. But the same thing on the passenger side, we're going to have to take the injector wires off. That's stuff you got to do the coil wires too. The back one off. That one's come off. Let's get this front one. There we go. Just the only thing also is we will pull this. We can move that up and out of the way, give us a little bit more room, so we can get to everything back here. And this tends to be the little bit easier side to get the valve cover off of. But you'll have 1, 2, 3 10s right here, then your normal 10 millimeters around the perimeter. Pull the coils out. That one's still got some broken connector in there, so does that one. So these two, I'm going to have to pull the old spark plug wire pieces out of there, which isn't a big deal. That typically happens on the old and brittle ones. And we can get those out of there, and then we can get the valve cover off, and it's just rinse and repeat. You know, do the cam seal on the back of this one, clean it off, put a little bit of silicone over the plugs and stuff like that, like cam plugs, put a little bit on the cover, and just to hold it down, we'll clean the cover off, and it's just rinse and repeat on the other side other than the coils. Right. So I figured I'd show y'all how to do this. So you just grab it and pull them out, and they should come right out. And if they got a lot of this old dielectric grease in there, just make sure you clean it out. And then before you do, just put a little bit inside of it, and then you can get your new tip or boot and just push it down on there until it seats on the bottom, and then put another little bit of dielectric grease inside the tip. And as you can see, I did them on these right here, and then they just set down flush. And sometimes they'll come out like this, so you just have to get a pair of pliers and pull them off, because they just snap down in there like that, and then you can just pull them out. But I do have to clean this one and install that, and whenever I get ready to put the intake on and torque it down, I will let y'all know what the torque specs and stuff for that is. So we got the lower portion of the upper intake on. That's got to torque it down, and all these bolts torque to 13 foot-pounds. And I'm kind of going in like a little circular motion. Get the back one on. Come on. There we go. Haven't got it ran down all the way yet. Come on. Alright. I did go a little bit higher just due to the extension. I only went just a couple foot-pounds more. Okay. Check it one more time just to be safe. Alright. And I've already got the tube on. All I gotta do is just put this 10mm in the back just to hold it to the intake. And then we can go ahead and start putting the upper intake on. Alright, we got everything hooked back up. That's on, got all our lines, our vacuum lines are on, brackets, everything is down and torqued. I'll go with the torque specs one more time. The valve cover gaskets 53 inch-pounds, upper and mid intake are both 13 foot-pounds. Everything else is kind of hand tight, you know, it's just tins and clips and then little bracket pieces. You can torque them if you want to. You can look them up. If you want them, I can give them to you, but I just kind of hand tighten them and go quarter to a half turn tighter just to hold them all down. But this is pretty much everything. I think I showed y'all all the parts. If I didn't, I'll still leave a description and a link to whatever parts I used in the description below. But if y'all got any questions, comments, concerns, let me know in the comment section. I'll get to them as soon as possible. If y'all like the video, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And I guess anything else, just hit me up. I'll try to help y'all out any way I can. Then until next time, y'all have a great day. Oh, and torque this tight.